live, on time, on point, coming free of charge. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 222nd edition of the long time coming, high anticipated, nibbly, supplicated, unappreciated, not about you program. The program feature. There's Tweet, Nichols, Standard, Opinion, Compensated Talents, William Bishop, Blake Evers, State Public Media, Motivation, third round draft pick name leader, 3 people, 2 attempts, 1 dream, broadcasting's finest train wreck. How about you is a Cordial Media presentation with YouTube, iTunes, available from every coast to every other coast on Anchor FM and Spotify. Hit us up. And now, sitting in for the one less toothful video game badger, it is MojoD. How are you, man?
Sleepy.
Sleepy.
First thing in the morning here.
You just wake up. It's 8 a.m.?
Yeah, just past 8:13.
I mean, you slept half the day away already.
Yeah.
That's right.
The sun isn't even up here yet.
Hey, Boy the Boy, thank you very much for that raid. We're also, if you are listening to the recording of this, we are live on Twitch, and all the hosts and raids and subs and follows all hit us. All the alerts are off, so you won't hear the noise, but we'll occasionally check out chat. And there you go. I don't know if there's a way, maybe freaking Shady can do a, I think I got to type it out, freaking twitch.tv. There's no bot. I don't have my bot program for this because usually Badger does this. But let's do this. There's Mojo's. And there is Boy the Boy. There you go. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys so much. All right. Yeah, okay. So I woke up this morning and I immediately thought about you. Not because you're being a guest host on this today, but you're going to be pretty disgusted at what I have to tell you.
Does this have anything to do with a certain clip I've seen?
No. You're going to be very disgusted because last time you were on, we talked about Streamlabs OBS, right? And you said, well, Streamlabs is okay, but now they're starting to want some payment for Prime and all of this sort of thing, right?
Okay.
And I'm 90% sure this may not be you, but you were talking about how Streamlabs, you got to be careful for any of these services that start asking you to pay for those sorts of things, like their alerts and paying for OBS, etc. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so that was you, right?
They set themselves up to be a one-stop shop.
Right.
Yes, they set themselves up to be a one-stop shop, and then they can turn around and say, "Oh, hey, you want to keep using this now? Subscription money, please."
Right. So I woke up this morning at about 6:45, and I checked my email just briefly, checked text or whatever, just looked at the phone real quick, and let me just read you this horrifying email. You have sent a payment of $149 to Streamlabs. And I immediately thought, what? No. And I'm trying to wipe my eyes going, wait a second. It's not Streamlabs. $14 is right about what I paid to Spotify, right? Because I have the premium monthly plan, right? Or something like that. So I'm making sure, because I mean, my eyes are just now opening, and I'm trying to read the word. Is that really Streamlabs? Number one, is that really $149? Because that's a lot. And I thought that Mojo warned me, and I thought about this. Mojo warned me about this exact thing. And then I thought, oh God, it's gonna bother me, and I'm gonna have to get up. I want to go back to sleep for just another hour or so. This is gonna bother me. Mojo's gonna shit on me when he tells me that I actually did this. And sure enough, I did fall asleep for about another hour, 45 minutes or so. I get up and I shower, get to my computer, and sure enough, apparently I was opted in to Streamlabs Prime for some reason. And last night, overnight, I guess the email. I'm just look at my phone, and it was, it was like at. It was 2 minutes before I woke up. It's like 6:41 a.m. My email gets here, and it says you've sent a. I mean, I was up at 6:45. So then it was a yearly subscription to whatever Streamlabs Prime is. So apparently it's done deal. It's done. I gotta set a reminder for next year, because me getting a refund for this is probably not a thing. So I woke up and I went, okay, is it a monthly thing, or how screwed am I? Is it a monthly thing or a yearly thing? And I went in and I said, okay, yearly thing, fine. I'm gonna get whatever. What do I get out of Streamlabs Prime? And so that's what I wanted to show you guys right now. That I accidentally forced myself into. Let me see here. Let me put Streamlabs Go Prime. Let's see. Here it is. So whatever it is, I'm in. Let me find my Streamlabs.
A website, apparently.
Yep, they do. Streamlabs.com. And let me see if I can find if there's a window that I have that's different from how they advertise it. So give me just a second, and I'll find its apps, benefits of Prime, Pretzel apps, something. Okay, the 5 things you get with Prime are the following. And I'm going to switch over to this, and we're going to get Mojo back. Hey, that worked. And then a Chrome window. That worked. Okay. It says, welcome to Prime. And number 1 thing you get is stream safe music for live streamers. Don't get DMCA'd. And all it really is the Pretzel Rocks music player, which you can get that for free anyway.
Yeah, that's free anyway.
I don't know if you get like a player in there or something. It was paid via PayPal, right? I didn't. Yeah, it's for something I selected. It automatically signed me up for it. Then the other thing you get is design and customize animated stream overlays. So I get a selection of a ton of overlays. The best apps, join Prime. Themes and overlays, these app stores. I don't know. Oh, the one thing I think what got me in was it said click here and select. You can go grab your own link. It's like clowntown.live or something, and Streamlabs will do that hosting for you. And it was free.
Yes.
And in retrospect, was probably January when I clicked December or January. And it was this right here, this creator website. And so I think if you go to clowntown.live, it's got me there. It's got my Twitch chat. It's got any other multi-stream chats. It's not recurring. It's not a recurring. It's a one yearly thing. So I found the cancel membership button, which I don't want to cancel it because I've already paid for a year. So I want to get whatever I've got, but I'm not going to get my $149 back. So I may as well figure out what I can use there. So apparently it's a bunch of overlays, which I have no plans of doing overlays. Music, which I'm already using.
You're buying into music overlays, which you'll never use.
Yep.
You got your own.
Music that I'm already using through just just browser play. I don't need a separate app. I do not need another window open on my damn computer. I don't. Creator website, which I grabbed. I thought it would be interesting, which I do like that because that takes me off of Twitch as my headquarters in case I get DMCA'd from something I did 2 years ago, right? Which Twitch has immediately established that there's zero room for, hey, this was grandfathered in. There's going to be some warnings. There's no strikes or anything. There's no real warnings. You're getting strikes and you're gonna lose your channel out of the blue, right? And
that's actually it's interesting. Just a bit of a tangent that Admiral Baru got a ban.
Yep, I saw
a few days ago.
I saw
just out of the blue.
Out of the blue, just
DCMA.
for DMCA was just and he's off, and then you just off and gone. People losing their channel over these things. So I'm already using Pretzel Rocks, which keeps me out of that. It's my opening music now is now Pretzel Rocks. The folks who come in early, I like it because I play it for the first 7 minutes. When I hit the live button, I let the timer tick down, and I'm usually getting my last few things set up, and I play these cool little riffs, and everybody likes it. The one thing I did grab, and in retrospect, this is likely what got me into Prime when it was free. It's always free to start out with, and that's why they hook you. And it was, I grabbed clowntown.live, and I set that up, and I think you can go there, and you can see, I don't know what you see, but you go, let me go see if I can go pull that up. Clowntown. Yeah, there it is, .live. And it's like a place where you can see chat, you can see Twitch broadcast, you can see, can't be reached, or clowntown.tv or something. There it is, clowntown.tv. Nope, it's twitch.tv. It's something. I don't even know the website. But it's also got a blank where you can resub there. You can donate
really
there.
The value out of it. You don't know what it is.
Right. I'm buffering a little bit. Just a little bit. Hang on, let me stop.
I just had a Ingo 3000.
Oh, yeah, I have some packet loss. Hang on. A little bit of packet loss. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm going to stop that, and let me lower I think I can lower my bit rate during the broadcast. All right, I'm going to watch it for a few seconds. Thanks for letting me know. We'll see. And then the next thing I've got is merch. I can also do merch if I really wanted to.
I've had for a while.
I don't have any merch that I want to sell. I don't want to keep track of inventory. I don't want to do any of that business. It's a pain.
There's usually third parties that can do a better job anyway.
100%. Like Badger was talking about that when he came off of AGQ. He wanted to do shirts, and I said, well, you got to be you got to be on target, because do you want a bunch of boxes of shirts in your house, and do you want to do a bunch of shipping and handling? Right, because that's what's going to happen or you got a third party, and you're going to lose some of your content, some of your profit, because you're going to be paying somebody to do it. And so, so he elected to do third party. They just pointed all. He gets, I think it's a $18 shirt or something, and he gets $3.50. I don't know how much he gets. He gets some reduced percentage, but he's just trying to sell shirts, right? Only Woob software managers their own merch, yes. Because that was a question that came up, and I basically got a shirt that was there's just kind of like this wadded up in an envelope, and that was $10 shipping and handling. It was $10 for someone to wad a shirt up and shove it in an envelope and send it to me from the Czech Republic.
Five things. There were 5 things that were Prime.
Yeah, Prime benefits. Okay. Oh, I found it. It's account settings and Prime. I don't think there's anything in here confidential. Okay.
Yeah, on mine.
Okay, here we go. Well, now,
so we had the websites.
Yeah.
Which is what probably triggered it. We have... The thing I was looking at before we dropped out was the apps.
Right.
I think we had already looked at...
So here on this is my dashboard, overlay and widgets, which I have no intention of doing anything with my overlays. I guess if I wanted to, the only thing I would like to be able to do is hit a button on my stream, on my my Elgato thing, and make a GIF run around. So the overlays, I get a bunch of access to those. The apps that they have inside, all of those are free. Which I'm already, the only one I looked in here, the only one I really use in here is Pretzel Rocks, which I just use that through the browser because I do not want to have another dang window open.
So the apps, from what I can tell, the apps are basically just plugins.
Yes.
Except they try and make you pay for them.
Yeah, right. It's third-party stuff. Custom domain and website, which is yourdomain.tv. I think I grabbed this. I don't know what it is. I got to go figure that out. That one I was actually interested in because Twitch banning people for no reason at all. Reasons, but no warning, right? And custom merch. I don't want to do merch. if I blow up and I'm Bieber style, then we're gonna sell a bunch of stuff. But otherwise, I don't want to do
shirts for days.
Shirts for days, man. I don't know. You got to be really big for shirts and stuff to be worth it. Okay, so as an example, Yogscast does booze, like whiskey and booze or something every Christmas, and it is so much of a labor of love because it is the biggest freaking headache.
It never pay for itself.
They do it out of love. They don't make any money because of the hassle and the hours it takes to do it. They may as well go work spend all those hours that they take trying to sell booze, and they may as well go work at a fast food joint and come home with a paycheck at the end of that because that's better. But merch is tough to do and tough to make any money off of merch, right? And then the last one was
like a 10% sale rate.
Right. Stream on mobile. Right. Disconnection, protection. There's like IRL streams. All this is beta and coming soon. And I don't.
I know what that is.
I don't know, man.
I think there's better services for that. For IRL streaming, that sort of thing.
Right. I
don't
agree.
know if you've heard of it. The Gunman backpack.
Yes, Badger had one at PAX East, and we streamed IRL. Yes, the whole time. It was an ordeal. They're expensive.
Oh yeah, and it has backpack has redundant connections inside it and all kinds.
Four
of
of them. 4 redundant connections. 3 mobile and 3 mobile and Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. The one I think the one I saw had 3, and it was like 2 mobile, 1 Wi-Fi.
Yep, this one was 3, but it was like Gun Runners or something like that, right? But they didn't sell guns; they sold backpacks if you're streaming, right? But there you go. And then I'll just tip my hand here, and there it was. You were charged $149 on July 4th for your Prime membership through July 4th on 2021. Next payment
really interesting
is a year.
It says $12 a month, billed annually.
Yeah,
so
$140.
Did the extra? Did they back charge?
$144. Well, 12 times 12 is $144. So it's like I guess I paid $5 extra to do it once a year. So I don't know. Maybe it's $12.99, and then I get a $5 discount for doing it a year. So if I hit this,
you're right. Sneaky as it's just $12 a month billed annually.
Right.
I looked at it and I didn't even realize that is actually 144.
Yeah, it's 144. I don't know. Maybe they charge me $5 for the convenience of once a year, right? So
and then $5 on top of it.
Okay, so here's my decision point. Cancel right this minute and go try and get my $149 back, which is I have a low percentage of getting that back. If I cancel right now, whatever they add later on, I definitely don't get. And I don't want to lose. If I've paid for it, I don't want to lose the benefits of whatever else they're working on. Because they are, in fairness, they are working on shit. Right?
They are adding more things, yeah.
Or do I just try and squeeze out whatever kind of benefit I can, $12 worth of benefit I can get out of any of this for the next year and see what comes out of it? I'm in camp number 3 of... Let me set a reminder on my calendar that's 30 days out, like in May, and I hit the freaking button in May and go and cancel. See what I can do with the website or any of these things to squeeze something out of my $149 damn dollars.
It's funny because I'm pretty sure you can get a website for only like $5 a month as well.
I know.
That's basically the only thing,
right?
The only value you get.
Right. Because that is not. Where's the thing here? It is this guy. My custom domain website. That was the only of all of those benefits. I went okay. I actually maybe I'll see if I can get some use out of that. But that's not $12 a month. That's more like $8. So PayPal allows you. Yes, I know, to see all recurring payments and block certain payments from happening. I will. A year from now, I will look into. I saw that comment. Thank you very much, Eagle Claw. But I will look into that. Oh shoot, I bumped the stream. Coming back, but I will look. I will look into that. And where's the damn 2-frame? Where's the damn 2-frame? Did I move it? Holy crap. Did I kill? Oh, I just moved it down. There we go. I was going to kill the 2-frame. It used to be above that. There you go. Okay, 2-frame is back up. So, yeah.
There we go.
I'm just going to dig in. I'm going to see what I can do with these benefits, and I'm going to make sure that I can block the payment on block the payment on PayPal. See whatever's recurring. Kill that. Cancel membership for next year.
And then they get sneaky and then charge you like a month early or something.
Right. That's why I'm going to do it like in May or something, because it's all of June, and I have to set a reminder sometime in May. Right. Anyway, that was my story of you were the first thing I thought of this morning when I got charged $149. I'm going to go, oh, Mojo told me. This is yet another thing that you can say,
like Nostradamus or something.
I told you so, right? The second, okay, well, let's build up to the 3 things that you turned out to be right on. By the way, Mojo's one of the greatest thinkers in my life. I'll tell you what. The other 2, the second thing that you told me so, and we'll build up to from small to large. The second thing was gift subs, multiple alerts. Right? So there's a trigger in there in Streamlabs, in the alerts, right, to where if somebody gives you 5 subs, by default, the alert goes off 5 times. And there's one person on planet Earth that hates that more than anybody else, and it's this guy right here.
Anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
So he sent me
some weirdo around here.
Specific instructions.
Instructions.
And said, clown, do this.
What really bothers me is how roundabout it is.
Do this. Like, it could not be any simpler. It could not be any simpler. Do this thing, and it'll go, instead of 5 alerts, you can program in 1 really good alert, and then you don't have to hear the thing going on. And it's especially good if somebody drops a 20 or a 25 or all of the other business. Right.
Yeah, or in the case which really set me off was a 200, and it was going off nonstop for I think an hour.
Right. Or it was bits, right? It was bunch of bits or something. Or...
Oh yeah, and then when you queue them up as well.
Right.
Oh, that's a different thing entirely once you start stacking bits as well.
Right. Yeah, so that's another thing where you said this to me like early on, and then I implemented the Trauma Tuesdays where all the gift subs were actually trauma on the base, all those sorts of things. So then people started piling up, and then you would, I mean, the timing, the impeccable timing, you would show up right around either Steely or Robotsky or one of the other killers just dropping like 5-10 gift subs at the same time, and then we just have to listen to that. I'm going, you know what, Mojo, you were right. Like, let's. And
it's just going doesn't it?
Because here's the thing.
It takes away from when you think an actual one's coming down.
Yes, because now I actually have a reason to not want all those alerts to go off, so I can hear the next one coming, right? Because I need to run out from underneath the nuke. And if somebody does 5 gift subs, all of those land at once, and I'm waiting, and meanwhile a 6th one has come, but it already drops on the base in surprise, right? And it hits me out of nowhere, and I don't even see it coming, right?
And then you got to wait for the 10, and then in that time, like 11 to 15 drops.
Right. And while the first 5 are going, someone could throw in an extra 2 or 3 and get me by surprise, which is why a couple of entertaining and very scary clips of me getting scared out of my mind. A couple clips came up where I didn't even see it. I didn't even see, no warning. It was just bam, and it was all gone. Right. And so this whole time I'm going, you know what, Mojo, you were right. Like you're you're so right about that.
It's like I had some insight into it.
Insight into it. Yeah, there's nothing that really that it was just, for some reason you're usually a pretty jovial guy, pretty easygoing, but this one's for some reason this irritated you more than anything else, and you're like, off air, do this, Click here.
Do this thing.
Easiest thing to do ever. It's basically a toggle bar, and and that's it, and then you define it, and you're done. And yeah, it didn't do that.
It's funny. What's the other one? Stream Elements does that automatically. You don't have to do all the weird programming to tell it to do gift subs. It just does it.
Right. And here's the thing: is up until this morning, I was really sitting there going, okay, well, let's see about Stream Elements, and because everybody on Twitter has been recommending that over Streamlabs. And then this morning, I woke up, and sure enough, I paid them $149, and I thought, well, and now I'm dug in. Now, the only way I'm going to get any money out of my $149 is to dig into Streamlabs and see what I can unpack. So now I'm screwed.
Tell you what, the one thing that really annoys me with Stream Elements is looking at the... They give you these email summaries, and they are the most optimistic summaries that you'd ever see. So here's one. 545% increase in peak viewers.
545% increase in peak viewers. So you got a host. You got a good host. Right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like 27% increase in chatters, 131% increase in chatters. It just finds the most standout statistic when it generates these titles and adds that to the email title. 15% increase in peak viewers, 200% increase in new follows, 100% increase in new
so
subs.
if you got 2 follows previous day and you get 4 follows the next day, or I guess 6 follows the next day, 200%, yeah! Lottery winner, okay.
And they also don't factor in the 50-50 split or the splits with subs.
Right.
So if there's a money one, which I don't think they do anymore. Think of it looking at it.
Yeah, maybe someone called them on that and went, "Oh, okay, bro, that's not exactly right."
Yeah. Let's see, 120% increase in subs. And it says, say, total revenue, say $100, and then go down to like the subs, and it's 10 by I was looking at pits as well. If it's like $100 for the stream, it's like 12 by 5 subs and then whatever else bits.
Right.
It's not counting the 50-50 split.
Right. Yeah. You had this much revenue, but not take home. Right. Yeah.
So,
I don't know, man.
So I have my reservations about Stream Elements as well, but at the very least, they seem to be holding that more boutique line currently. Whereas Streamlabs very early on, Streamlabs, they were trying to toe the entry level line since
Get started.
however long.
Well, Twitch alerts.
Since as long as
right. Remember, they were the ones that start out as Twitch alerts, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Because I was trying to think, because they weren't really, they were just a thing, Twitch alerts originally, and then they became Stream Elements, Streamlabs, sorry. I'm getting confused now. And then they started targeting the that sort of entry level, one-stop shop for overlays and all that to get yourself started.
Tip EEE Stream for alerts and overlays. Right, and you can use Streamlabs for. I mean, we were using parts of Streamlabs for before Restream was kind of against the partner/affiliate contract. We were using Streamlabs for various alerts, whether we were streaming to Beam/Mixer or YouTube or Twitch. So that's why they rebranded, because they wanted to be whatever the thing was. They wanted to be, flexible to where that YouTube streamers can use them as well, right? So, okay. So any now the last thing on Nostradamus, you need to unpack for us, because you were all up my ass when all of this stuff was shaking out. And then, so after that,
really.
then we'll talk about Mixer. You kind of were. You're like, I told you so. All right. So
it was more of a subtle, hey, you know about that thing?
the thing I told you about two
very
years
cheeky,
ago,
the way he was saying it.
year and a half ago.
It's what was it? Was the beginning of 2018?
Yeah.
When I sort of unpacked it.
Yep.
It was actually in 2017 when I unpacked it, and then I'm pretty sure I said it many times here on this channel as well. You'll be talking about him, and then I'd be like, nope, ain't having anything to do with him, and you shouldn't have anything to do with him.
Right. And you were warning us several times. So, but here's the thing: is we didn't have any evidence. Like it hadn't come out blatantly, right? So okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's probably the biggest takeaway from it was that, from what I could gather, like all I could say was, "Hey, something ain't right here," but I couldn't conclusively say anything.
Right. So here, let's unpack it for the listeners. So last week we talked about. Last week was a really rough week. So this is 2 weeks ago. They pull up a calendar, and so I can have my head around the dates, because this kind of matters. Let's go. If you ever need a calendar or any sort of info, go to timeanddate.com is the best. This is one for you guys. Timeanddate.com is in the chat window right now. So
my go-to place for time zone conversion.
Right. So sometime on the 20th, 19th, 20th, and 21st, several allegations came out on Twitter about either people in the streaming business, people that are, whether they were just streamers themselves, whether they were Twitch staff, whether they were companies associated, people, I think someone at Mixer, someone at Blizzard, but there was an expose all dump of a lot of people in this industry that hit our Twitter sphere. And again, I've got a couple of Twitter accounts. My Twitter account that's for Clowntown is specifically for streaming business. So all my other interests like jiu-jitsu or stuff in business, the stuff that I follow, or current events, I don't really follow with the Clowntown account, right? I have it just so that
you keep them very focused.
Right. It's pretty focused. So I follow streamers and streaming events, and that's pretty much all you'll find on my Twitter. And so when stuff like this happens, and when it happens in the national scale, I'd never see it because I've got other avenues that I find those things. Twitter it's not for Twitter. It's not what I use Twitter for. But it'll trickle in, and I think Badger does the same thing, where he and I follow and retweet streamers. One, because that's his complete business, and follow different people for more. I have a couple of follows that I branch off into business marketing, because they're cousins and sister industries, Twitch and Twitter, and how to market yourself and how to brand and things to think about. But it's all streaming related for what I'm trying to do here. And so 2 weeks ago, on the 19th, 20th, 21st, several streamers, many of them, Badger being one of them, there was alleged that it had come out that there was either an abuse of power or allegations of illegal stuff going on, or just people being bastards, right? Or people, what it turned out in Badger's case, that there was alleging some apparently false allegations that did not have any sort of evidence, had only feelings. Never actually happened, had only feelings associated with them, which Badger was able to fairly successfully refute with actual evidence, actual texts. What it turned out, last week's Enough About You episode 221, it turned out to be a pretty rough one for Badger. It was unpacked for him. But essentially, someone alleged some illegal activity, like there was some sexual assault that they allege, which that's a big deal. And so what Badger's...
It's not a small thing.
It's not a small accusation at all. So what Badger's choice was, either go silent and say lawyers are going to take this up. Option 2 is say sorry you felt that way And what other people, but it never happened, and just do a plausible deniability, or
deniability.
third, or not plausible, but just do a soft denial, saying, sorry you feel that way, that never happened, without dumping any evidence on. And at the current time, neither of those two options were very good, because any sort of hey, this is really not me, or sorry, or any sort of weakness shown in their story, or copping to any part of it, the mob and everybody would continue to jump on him, right? So his option, he really only had one option, and I kind of agree with this, was to come out and just basically open up all of the text that he received, which he saved, because Google saves all that sort of stuff. He has an Android phone. He just saved them all. He saved every Discord message, because Discord saves it all, and Google Android tracks
everything.
Google Android tracks all of his movement, all the pictures that he said that he took with these ladies. All those were sent, and he basically did an expose on basically his entire romantic and sexual life in front of everybody, and it sucked for him. For public review.
The whole thing out there.
Because he really was not given a chance to do it in private, because the allegation came out public. It went a twit longer, and judgment was already being rendered on him. Whether you agree with that or not, that is the truth. Twitter. Trial by Twitter was happening. And so he unpacked that and said, this is our life. These are all the texts these ladies sent me. This is when I arrived at her place. This is when I went home. Here's the texting that happened after alleged said event. They were not like it was threatening, and was able to fairly successfully argue against anyone who unpacks that evidence and looks at it, says, oh, this was not forced sex, this was regretful sex, right? Which that happens. Like, people regret having relationships. I've got a couple regretful relationships in my past. Everybody does. Where you go, oh, that was time I should not have been.
Revenge down.
I should not have been with that person. It was just a bad fit. It was, whatever it was. But anybody who really unpacks that evidence, most of them, if they're true, if they're intellectually honest, comes to the same conclusion of the allegations had only feelings in it, and we were just at accusations, and William had all of the evidence to say that no, there's motive to take me down. There was no evidence that showed any of this actually happened. The emotions immediately after were not one of regret. This was 6 months of look back, and now I regret it type of thing.
Yeah.
All of that sort of stuff. And it's also content contrary to all of, if this was such a horrible event that happened, then why did they continue to text me and have all these lovey messages after the fact, after said alleged incidents, right? And all of those sorts of things. But any one of those things may not be a successful defense in a vacuum, but he ended up putting overwhelmingly amount of evidence that happened. So all of that detail is on 221 if you want to go look at that. So Badger and I just had a one-on-one basically where we talked about it all and unpacked it. You can also go back on his Twitter, etc., and look at him. Now, he was a rare case in all of this, because
he was actually.
This was a seemingly false accusation with very little evidence against someone who had a mountain of contrary evidence on this other side, right? That was not the case with most of the other allegations, right? In conclusion, what happened on the Armageddon weekend, right? Several Twitch partners lost their channel, were permanently banned. Several of them with evidence that have come out, and or those who said, yes, I did it and I'm sorry. Those people were banned, and many of them are no longer on Twitter even. They have canceled their Twitter account. Yeah. They've canceled any sort of public thing, and it's all gone. Sorry. So go ahead. Did you see whatever?
So with the Badger one, did you see Destiny did a few streams unpacking the various allegations.
We
and
did.
Then he did badges, and the thing that'll always stick for me is one of the allegations where he's going through and it's like, okay, yeah, this is a thing, and then he comes to this text message where it explicitly says that she has enjoyed the time. He just reads it, and just stops. And goes, oh my god,
yeah,
it's just like, oh, this just fell apart.
Yes,
that's just stuck out with me.
Yeah, but what we talked about last time was what choice did he have? Because there were people losing their channels, their livelihoods, and their Twitter accounts, like all the avenues that they are currently using to make money, like they were losing those over that weekend, right? So that episode we recorded on the 28th of June, and that week, the Monday, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, several people lost their channels. One of which...
The axe started swinging.
The axe started swinging. Twitch got wind of these sorts of things, and Twitch said, we're going to review these. And what Twitch's thing was, where we have evidence to show, and basically an admission of guilt of sorry, and there's pretty clearly that this happened. They took some pretty swift action and they banned some folks, permabanned, and not just a 24-hour suspension or any of that business, not just a stern talking to, or a warning, or hey, we're going to place them on administrative leave, whatever that looks like in the Twitch deal. Like there is no longer, for example, there is no longer a twitch.tv/WarWitchTV. It just doesn't exist anymore. It's gone.
It's permanently banned from the
permanently
platform.
Banned.
Not allowed to stream anymore.
So
it's like Ice Poseidon level of ban.
Right. Gone. Completely gone. To that end, that's where we unpacked a little bit last week, and when our heroes or our mentors or the people we look up to kind of fail, and they fail us, right? So Warwick's TV was alleged that the allegations against him was that there was a lady who was texting him, and they were kind of flirting back and forth, doing some naughty texting, and the thing came out where she said something like, I'm in high school, right? And he still continues. And turns out she was 15, 17 type of thing, and they're still doing these little texting, which constitutes a minor. And she was able to produce some...
What do they call it? Sexting?
I don't know. She was able to produce several text messages from him that showed that he was, even with knowledge that she was underage, continuing on with some naughty stuff. So he lost his channel. So what I reminded Badger, so we unpacked that also. You could say the same thing. We held Warwitch in pretty high regard too. Like we brought him up on this channel so many times of being this is really what you want in terms of a guy who's got streaming down. He's got entertainment down. He's a great marketer. He's got his brand up. He's got merch, high engagement. His viewer count was so low compared to the number of subs that he got, which he was up in the 46 emotes for having 200 average viewers, 200, 300 average viewers. He had subscriber counts up in the 10,000 viewer range, right? Comparable.
Yeah, his sub ratio was insane.
His engagement ratio was off the chart, and we were saying if you can have Warwitch level engagement, it's amazing. Like we had him up on this high pedestal. And I was pretty disappointed. Badger immediately felt guilty because he had unknowingly sent people his way. Right?
He had a few tweets about that where he knowingly sent people on raids over to him and recommended him.
And my statement to that is, look, you can be disappointed, you can be angry, you can be sad, but man, Warwitch made this happen. Badger did not make this happen, right? And you have no idea, right? And Badger, here's the thing, Badge. What I leveled with him was, I said, here's the crazy thing is why you need to let yourself off the hook for this one. You're probably raiding and hosting another creep right this minute, and you don't know about it. because
Yeah.
there's no way you could really
Think of
know.
all the other people that were raiding and hosting too.
You're not the only one. Two, people are just flawed. Like they have shortcomings in various raids. Some are just kind of mean to puppies, and others are in there getting after minors, right? You know, they run the gamut of flawed people, and you have this they have this public persona that is attractive and all of this, but in the back you never know what they're up to. They could be arguably murdering people, and we wouldn't know it. There's no way we could know, right?
The package that they present on a stream is in some way a facade.
Yeah, but it's all you have to go on, right? That's like, otherwise, what they let us know what they want us to know, right? And that's all we have to base our conclusions, right? So I was pretty upset. I had 46 months in a row of subscribing, which was my first Twitch subscriber. He was the first person that I was compelled enough to separate real money to throw on a subscriber.
Real money.
To
throw to a stream. And that was before. And that was almost before subbing was even a thing, wasn't it?
Gift subbing was not a thing. Subscribing was. There was no affiliates. Gift subbing. How many contacts? A serial killer says he was such a nice guy. Whatever. I never would have expected all of this sort of thing. Yeah. It's the same thing. I was.
All heard that one.
I felt pretty. I was pretty sad and angered and all that other business. But I stopped short of being guilty because I was like, no, I didn't make this happen, right? He's the one that made it all happen, right? I'd subscribed to him for 46 months in a row.
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. He was my very first one, and it was before gift subs was a thing. So he had a thing that the subscription thing down, where every 8 subs, whether it was a new sub or a resub, he would gift one out, and whatever that ratio was. He would hand out a gift sub, and this was even before gift subs were a thing that was not in a menu. There's no menu. So what he would do is he would roll down to the Subway sandwich place, and he would buy $5 stacks of Subway sandwich gift cards. Stacks of them. And then what you would have to do is you message him. He would gift you a sub, and you say, message me off air. He would hand out the gifts card to you. He would hand you the code on the back of the Subway card with instructions on how to redeem it for a free sub on Twitch. It was the most back end thing, but he was doing gift subs before gift subs, right? That was my first sub. That's my story. My first
literal gifted subs.
Literal gift subs for subs, and I said, "This is interesting." Because Twitch...
Was there some kind of Twitch Subway deal back then? Or
it was just that Zolla, Xolla, that whatever back-end company that Twitch used to do their interfacing,
okay.
It accepted everything as payment. It was just a payment engine. And Twitch, and happened to be Subway sandwiches were one currency that they would accept. They would, Visa gift card, MasterCard, all these other ones, I don't know, Discover, Diners Club, I don't know, a bunch of other credit sources. But one of them, he said, well, I'm going to eat at Subway because there's one right next to my place. So I'm going to go down there and just stock up on these, and I'm going to use that for my business, but I'm also occasionally going to go eat there, right? Dogecoins, right. There was weird stuff. You could go get whatever. It was just a currency.
Still a thing, aren't they?
Right, so he found a way to also leverage his food dollar, and if he never gave them away or if streaming went away, he could still eat off of it, right?
Yeah. So
they weren't wasted.
Still turn it back into actual money.
You can still turn it back into actual money for goods and services, right? It was interesting. So anyway, okay, so rewind the clocks back to 2017, okay? This is what I alluded to last episode. If you guys want to go back to it, I'll allude to this. There was a dust-up with Warwitch back in 2017. This is where Mojo comes in, okay? This dust-up happened, and I'll give you my perspective. Then I'm going to let Mojo unpack all this, because Mojo freaking called this 2 years ago. Okay, and he told me about it.
It's going to get even weirder too.
It's going to get even weirder. So there was a dust-up where someone came out and alleged, this was someone who was of age, he was like early 20s or something, said that Warwich was manipulated her. It didn't know assault or anything like that. Manipulated her or something like that. Was very devious in his deals and accused him of something. Okay, and essentially it was, so Warwich has a wife named Natalia, which was I guess maybe her stage persona or her persona, right? And
Possibly.
this woman comes out and says, "Hey, Warwich has been trading all these sexual messages with me, and there was even some picture swaps and all this. This is all adults, etc. And he's a manipulative bastard. And that was the accusation. There's nothing illegal alleged about it. And this is 2017. Warwich comes forward, and let me summarize as best I can recall. So this is not all the Twitter is gone, by the way. If you go searching for Warwich TV on Twitter, it does not exist. It's gone.
It's not there.
So all of this,
you can't find him anywhere on the internet now.
All of this stuff that I'm telling you has vaporized. So it's all either exists here or exists in his brain now as we're telling it. So he comes out and he says, yes, this happened. Yes, we exchanged messages. Yes, my wife was fully on board with this. She knew everything that I was doing. We have a thing together. And by the way, I'm a big flirt. And I flirt on my persona. Whatever was happening between them, I'm sorry there was hurt feelings, but it was two consensual adults, and I never intended to hurt anyone's feelings. And everything that happened, it happened with full knowledge of both parties, and it happened with full knowledge of my wife. I never do this is just a thing that I like to do. I'm a big flirt, and I'm a big fan of female forms, but I never intended to use influence over anything to do anything they didn't want to do. And everything that the evidence that came out, and then the rebuttal to that was the lady said, she came back and she said, I spoke with Warwich off air or offline. We worked it out. We agreed to some things. We agreed to go our separate ways. I harbor no ill will. Right. So there was a allegation, a admission of, hey, sorry you got hurt feelings, but this was all above board. You knew what you're getting into. I never intended to hurt anybody. And she says, I'm cool with it. And that was the public persona, right?
Yeah.
That was the public exchange. That was in 2017. And then, of course, on the tweet where Warwich comes out and says, hey, I'm copping to this. I'm just a big flirt. No one hurt anybody. This is just what I do. Whatever. This is me and Natalia. This is our thing. We're just big flirts. That's all we are. Of course, in his stream and in the tweet that he had, just pages and pages of, we're with you, bro. We stand with Warwich. Nothing to see here. Consenting adults is consenting adults. Just lots of support. There was nothing. No one accusing him anything, especially since the rebuttal came back and said, "Okay, we're all good now." Right. So that was the dust up that happened. But the big difference in that one in 2017 versus the current one was it was a younger 20-something-year-old lady, something like that, etc.
The age.
Yeah, of age, legal age, whatever. And it was just two adults. And it was basically just probably some naughty sexting, right? And that was about it, right? So,
it's actually an interesting. I never really, because I actually never knew about the. This is where things get strange because I never knew about that dust up originally.
Really?
Until you told me about it.
So you come to me like right after that, as I remember, right? Yeah, one's a crime and one's not a crime.
It was actually.
So
yes, I actually never knew about it when I came to you.
Yeah,
when you told me about it, that was the first I heard about it.
So
I
said,
was like, oh, really?
Really?
I'd go back through the Twitter.
So think about this in the 2017. We're just fans. We're just fans of Warwich, right? Because he's just streaming monster. He's just a monster streamer, right? And we are looking. HDQ hadn't happened yet. I hadn't got my partner yet. We were little streamers looking up to a bigger streamer, and we're big fans, right? So put yourself in our shoes
started at that point.
at context, right? Huh? Oh, I was 2 years in.
Yeah, I'd only just started.
You'd only just started, right? So Mojo comes to me like right after that and says, "Hey, man, I got some info for you on this dude that you're liking so much." And I said, "Well, what do you got?" And he says, so he says it's easier to tell you rather than to type it all out. So it's the first time I'd probably ever talked to Mojo
I
Voice.
wasn't even sure how to actually describe it.
Right. So then, and I said, so in my frame, when Mojo's telling me what he's about to tell you, my frame of reference is, no. This is two consenting adults that we just saw. And there's and not only is there no evidence for any impropriety here, but the lady who just alleged it came out and said we're cool, and Warwich basically unleashed his text. He didn't show any text, but he just said, "Hey, mea culpa if anybody got hurt, but this is just what I do. Nothing illegal. Here you go." He didn't really admit to anything wrong, other than, "Hey, sorry you got your feelings hurt, but we're two consenting adults here. And by the way, my wife's fully is everything's above board, etc." And you hadn't heard about that when you told me this.
Was, big brain move.
It's big brain, right?
Yeah,
right. Right. So okay. So
like,
now take it
everyone off. Just just drop your balls on the table, sort of thing.
Right.
Sort of strategy.
Right. But so
that's what it sounds like.
In a vacuum in 2017, that's happening according to your perspective, because that has not happened in your world yet.
Yeah.
So out of the blue,
no, it hasn't. I've never seen it.
You messaged me and you said what? What did you tell me in 2018, 2017? So unpack it similarly to what you knew back then, if you can.
So I think the best way to describe it is start from the top.
You've only had 2 weeks to think about this.
So I had to dig deep to find how I actually derived it from in a vacuum. And actually, I think what got the wheels turning originally, going back to what we're saying with the Subway sandwich gift cards, is probably what started it, because so originally what got me looking into his channel so deeply was I was wondering, hey, I wonder if he's got like a plant or something, some kind of system in place for the gift subbing, to keep the level of hype. Because I noticed that like there would be, as the mood would drift, like he would change gear, he'd start doing the saxophone thing or something like that.
Right.
Or someone, particularly when it got particularly quiet, someone would just throw down like 5 subs or 10 subs or something.
Yes.
And so that was when the wheels started turning. And as I was saying, relating back to the Subway sandwiches, I think he did actually have a system like where he would give one out for every 8 subs that came in or something like that.
Can confirm. That's how I got mine. Right. That's how I got my first one.
And there's no reason, like if he was doing it back then, there's no reason why to change. He would just keep on doing it. So that's actually a new revelation for me even now.
Really? Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's actually interesting. But yeah, as I was starting to look into it, I was starting to pay attention to the people who were subbing, people who gift subbing, the people who he was praising the most, and the people who would really highlight whenever they would say hey in the channel. Because I noticed that there was about 20 people that he would consistently always say, hey, how's it going? And everyone else just, for the most part, ignore. And that's, that was when things started to get real strange, because gift subs, for the most part, it's a broad spread. But then there was one person that, I think this was the spark that started it. It was, I don't particularly want to say who it is, because they gave out a lot. It was some girl though, and I was like, hang on, like it was this persona that was a little bit too fantastical to be real.
Oh, it was what though? It was
some girl.
Oh, a girl.
They had this, but everything just looked a little bit too. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Everything were like the thumbnail was very flirtatious, I guess. You ever see something like that, and it's I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. It's something that's trying to be tempting.
Right.
trying to lure temptation, I guess would be the best way to describe it. And yeah, and I was like, hey, I wonder if this is an actual person or if there's something actually going on, and then start paying attention more. And then honeypot, yeah. That's the one.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, so then, as I say, I started paying attention to people he was really paying attention to. And then I noticed that outside of you, W. Greats, the corgi guy, who actually is also banned now, and that's another topic entirely, because I mentioned to you a little while ago that he just sort of slipped under the radar and also disappeared completely off the internet.
Yeah,
So it was you. There's a few other people I can't remember now, but then there was one that always stuck out to me and always bothered me, and I've forgotten his name now too. But he was always raided about the same time, and he it was basically a nobody. He had like 3 to 5 concurrent, less than 1,000 follows, and for some reason, he was just hammering that, hey, this guy's a great streamer, fantastic person. Like, why does he have so much for this nobody all of a sudden?
Mm-hmm.
And like, because there's tons of other people who raid, and it's just like, oh, hey, yeah, whatever. just shrugs them off.
Right.
It's like, why? And it's just these little breadcrumbs that keep like, this doesn't have anything beyond being a little, hey, what's this? It admittedly doesn't relate too much. It's and then it just makes me want to keep looking more and more for these little breadcrumbs, and start looking at these 20, would have been 20 or 30 people, and I noticed that they're all, going through the profiles, they're all women, as it turns out. They're all 18 to 25-year-olds. All the ones who's really saying, oh, hey, how are you going? Maximum praise. Like, to the level of when W. Grace would come in. Like, he would have gotten the most. And now I have to go through some messages with someone else. Because I had this list going on. Oh, yeah, the other thing was he was always raiding and hosting. Like, at the end of the stream, he would often raid and host small girl streamers.
Right.
And so, we're up to, we've got these girls giving big gift subs. There's a lot of girls in this sort of close circle. There's always raiding girls, and the DEFCON level keeps raising at this point. And these things start coming together. Like, hang on, something. I think by this stage I was like, hang on, something ain't right here. Something is definitely off.
Yeah, and so you look through that, and by the way, I think I would probably rate him maybe probably 0.8 per week. Not every week, but about once a week I would come in. He takes off around 9 p.m. Central US, which is where I go past that. So he's almost always on in his first hour. So there's an hour of overlap, and I wrap up around 9:45, 10 p.m. my time, right? It was very, very rare that he would raid me. On occasion, when I would be off on a Friday, a lot of times to burn up some vacation, I would take off on a Friday, and then I would start at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. He would be still up. And raid into me in the mornings, right? And so I would just be playing Dead by Daylight or something dumb with Badger, whatever. I'd just be screwing off on the internet, and then I would get this 300-person raid. Occasionally I did Factorio, but I would get this 300-person raid that comes in, and it's basically Warwich's spillover from the party that he had, right?
From the nighttime.
Yeah. And but
that happened like a year ago, didn't it?
Right.
What was going on a year ago?
Yeah. A couple of those things, and this he would highlight me on occasion when I would raid. He would stop. They would do the raid call, and I would probably renew my sub, and then
that was one of the few.
Right. Moving on, he would
one
do
of the few people where he would actually go to the trouble to highlight.
Right. But at the same time, I'd been kind of raiding him with 40s to 50s, which is not nobody. It's something. and he would take off on that. And then also I got partnered, so he knew that I was a streamer raiding and doing the thing. And then once I got partner, he went, "Oh yeah, this is hey, hey, this is the guy." He saw me kind of come up, and now this is like a guy. I'm gonna raid him, and he had he was great positioning because he was on at the end of mine. But I thought him only as a. I mean, I had no contact with him off air at all, other than back when the very, 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 very first time I got the Subway gift card, and there was one exchange, and that was it. Otherwise, I never contacted him off air or anything like that. But otherwise, he was just a great streamer. Had his branding down. But anyway, so
he had a complete package.
Yeah. So you put together that it was a small group of people that he was always praising live, small group of people that he would raid into that fit a demographic of flirty ladies at the same time.
Yeah.
And then he would make a big deal.
This was still in like November, December 2017.
2017, right. And he would still fit into like a make big deals out of. I mean, he would blow off just about anybody else, but make big deals out of small occurrences based on who it was. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. So you're just looking at the system, going, okay, well, let's figure out his system because he's doing something right here, and figure out what's going on. I never did spend a ton of time in his stream, other than like I would raid and I have to go to bed because I got to work in the morning. The only time I spent multiple hours in his stream was when I would participate in Friday night fights when he would shoutcast Overwatch.
Oh yes, you really did the shoutcast.
He used to do Friday night fights, and it was if you were a sub, he would draw your name and you could go fight with his crew.
Yeah.
And I didn't do too bad at all. Like I wrecked some face in the Overwatch Friday night fights. That was probably the only time I ever spent more than about 20 minutes in his stream. I would hit it up.
20 minutes in his chat.
Right. He would look at and highlight the girls that would feed tweet him to, wondering if you're going to mention that sort of stuff. This Warwick guy. But yeah, so anyway, that was happening. And in my sphere, it was just this guy's got branding down. He's got hype down. He's got streaming down. Like this is what you want to do. If you're gonna stream, do what this guy does because he's got it nailed, right? And you're analyzing the system, right? You're trying to look at the system though, not the dude.
Because it was on in the afternoon for me, I could watch while I work,
right?
So I could analyze it while working,
right?
So yeah, but yeah, I had the same idea. It's like he has it down. I want to see what makes it work.
Right.
I want to disassemble his machine.
Right.
And see what makes it tick. And yeah, as they're saying, the thing with Twitter, I think we're at like DEFCON. Like my mind is on like DEFCON 2 now. Or DEFCON 3. It goes down, doesn't it? It's like DEFCON 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
5 is low threat. 1 is lookout, where shit's gonna burn down.
That's it. Because as I pick up these things, the thing just keeps going down a tier. And I think we're at like DEFCON 3 now.
Yep.
And it actually, I'd forgotten it, but the thing that brought it down to DEFCON 2 was, I'm trying to remember the exact wording, because he was always pushing Instagram. But I think it was the wording that got to me. Instead of saying follow me on Instagram like most people would, he would say come hang. I think he was saying come hang out with me on Instagram.
Okay.
Which just seemed a bit off.
Right.
Why would you, like, it's a thing for sharing pictures. Why would you come hang out? But there was I've never used Instagram, but I believe at the time there was instant messaging there as well. Like there was private messaging you could do. More secure private messaging. Which is actually interesting because you fast forward to now, and at some point they switched over to Snapchat.
Right. Yeah, direct message for Instagram. It is a thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So that brought me down to like DEFCON 2.
I don't use
was
Instagram
like,
either.
okay. And I was like, and so at this point I'm like, okay, I need a way to validate what's going on. So I'm like, okay, is this person who was gift subbing that got the wheels turned in the first place a real person? And then need to find a way to start confirming or relating the information for all these people back. I'd like to see if I can confirm it. And so I actually had a Discord chat open from 2018 with a friend of mine. And I was like, say, hey, this person, you know anything about this person? Oh, yeah, she's a real friend of mine. She's not a real friend. I was like, oh, uh-oh. Then, and then I say, oh, hey, yeah, he does seem to really pay attention to the same few people. And then they reply, women usually. I'm like, yep, young girls. And I say, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
And then they say, new streamers. And I was like, oh, dear.
Right.
Yeah, at this point, it's just ticking all those boxes that I had. And where does she say? So this friend of mine, she she says, because she's been through as it turns out, she's actually been through it as well.
Oh.
I'm just trying to find it.
So you've got this. You've got this evidence, and you're going, wait a second. It's some sort of deal with new streamers, younger girls, Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And the delivery is hype from the empire of hype to these ladies, right?
Yeah.
And so now you're figuring out, what do they get in return? What's in it for them? Or what's in it for him, right? To do all this sort of stuff. Right? That's what's in it for them. What's in it for him? So so Mojo comes. You come to me, right? For some reason, you said, "Hey, man, this guy." Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So after I did that, we're now DEFCON 1. Like, oh, something's really wrong here. And then that was when I say, "Hey, we need to talk."
Right. You said, "Hey, we need."
Dude, I don't think I think there's a problem here.
We need to talk. There's a problem here with him and these younger girls and younger streamers. And I said, so Mojo and I have this off-air conversation because he knows that me and Badger have this guy up on a high pedestal. And my frame when you and I had that conversation was no. The dust-up that had just happened was 2 consenting adults
that I didn't know about.
But you didn't know about it, which was just he exchanged this. He had one lady. This is all that's ever come out. Then one lady alleged manipulation, nothing impropriety, nothing really improper, but just she alleged him manipulation. He said, "I'm just a big flirt. This is what I do. It's all above board. It's 2 consenting adult," and she then agreed. And so when I took that, you came to me with, "Hey, there's this crazy stuff going on," and I said, "No. Look over here."
That's fine.
And I said, "It's fine because."
I was like, wait, what?
And I said, "Hey, there's this whole thing. It's all out in the open, and it's just a couple of grown-ups flirting, which that happens, and it's not even that because his wife's on board. They do a thing." Right, and it's just what consenting adults do. And look, man, if you're not hurting anybody, you and your wife get your freak on. I don't care. Like, do whatever it is you want to do, man. If you ain't hurting anybody or costing anybody money or infringing on anybody else's freedoms, and it's all grown-ups doing freaky stuff, go for it. Like, that's why U.S. of A, man. You're a free country, man. Do what you want to do. And so when you come to me and you said, "Hey, young streamers, trade for hype, and there's some young stuff going on, there's some manipulation," and I'm going, no. Look here, right? It's all good. It's all adults. It's all adults. It's all consensual, and it's all above board. They're all good. And so I said, well, okay, that's cool, but I was fairly dismissive of the allegations because there was no there's no evidence, right? There was evidence that she put out,
there's
and
no direct evidence.
There's no direct evidence, which, by the way, that wins in just about in just about everything. You need direct evidence. You need to be. And the theme of last week's show was be a good witness. Do not be a salesperson. Do not be a salesperson for one side or the other. Do not obfuscate truth when it should be. Just be a good witness. Tell what you saw. Look at what you see intellectually, honestly, and then be a good witness. And so what I saw when I basically dismissed you for the nth time in my life, regretfully. Sorry. Sorry to have done that.
At the end of the day, I couldn't prove it. So
right.
Like all I could say was, "Hey, I think something's going on," and
You're right.
And that's fundamentally why this is such a big issue.
Right. And so I basically said, "Well, the evidence that I see is this, that, and the other," and so I can't go there with you to DEFCON 1 because what I see is intellectually and from both sides' own admission, there was some flirting that went sideways, right? And that's it. That's all I can see. And so you said, okay, fine. Basically, I'll keep digging. I'll be back.
It's because that sounds like because you brought a whole new thing to me. I was like, hang on, so
right.
Is my friend of mine biased because of that tweet? Because that's the wheels turning. So is it something blown out of proportion? And am I just seeing crazy things?
So your source, you were saying, wait, does your source know about this other dust up? And is that why she is also alleging the things that she is? Is she biased because of this tweet? Does she have that also? So when you brought the tweet to her, what happened? The 2017 incident to her, what happened?
So she never specifically said it. Or she mentioned that about taking clothes off for. I couldn't find the exact line. It's something like tries to woo you by taking clothes off in favor of support.
Right.
And,
so hype and support in exchange for nudes is the deal they have, right?
Yeah.
Whether it was
deal, yeah.
Was it a stated deal or an unstated deal?
So she never actually said anything, but going back through the clips, there was the War Wish raids, which means that, like as I say, she wouldn't say it, but as best as I can guess, that at some point he had approached for the continued support, so to speak, continued support.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Right. Uh-huh. All right. So in between this in those running up in those 2 years, in between about 2 years, end of 2017, early 2018, when you come to me with this crazy theory, and I say, well, there's nothing here that is not already out. I don't see anything else other than what just came out, just like a week or something. It was very.
It was like been like October or something like that. I think it came out.
It was October, November.
Like a few months prior.
Yeah, it was very, very shortly on. So yeah, there was this dust up with tweets and all this other stuff. In addition to that, so you said, okay, I'll be back, and you went off and did some more research. So what did you collect between then and now, or did you collect what? Or
nothing much more, but just got more confirmation. And I'm pretty sure that other girl, he'd done the same thing too, and probably most of the fan club as well. You know, the 20 to 30 people, he'd probably done it to all of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Without, because you can't just go out and say, because stopping short of saying, hey, did this guy do this? It sort of reached the end of the line there.
Right.
Oh, also, the other little breadcrumb that always put me off with him, remember that girl that was always there? The friend of the channel who lived with her?
Yes, I do.
Wasn't family member or anything.
Yes.
That was always weird to me.
It was. That was a very strange one that I could not figure out.
Yeah, I could never figure that one out either.
I could.
Drove me insane.
So let's not drop names, but this was a community manager, whatever that was, community manager, and was essentially kind of handled some stuff off air for him. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, did a lot of the a lot of technical stuff, I think, too.
So he had a buddy named I think Camdare, and Camdare would shoutcast the fights with him on Overwatch. And Camdare was good.
Oh, I remember that.
He was an English guy. I think he was English. Might have been Australian because it was his. Actually, it might have been Australian because it was morning time or something.
I think he was English.
Yeah,
like I remember him having an English accent.
Mm-hmm. But Friday night fights took place at like 11 p.m. or midnight, which would have been 6 a.m. on the island, right? So he would have either be still up and just have crazy things, crazy hours, or get up early and then get a coffee and go shoutcast with Warwitch, right? Camdare was good.
Just like what I would do with the PvP.
Right, yeah, like what you would do, right? So Camdare was good, and so Warwitch had a level of hype, and he would throw the action to Camdare. Camdare would say, yep, and he would throw it right back. They had really good color commentary, right? So I got it that Warwitch always had I need someone I could dance and play with verbally, right? That's also what I need.
That way you could maintain the peak.
Right. That's what I needed during the biter battles, which is why this is where you come in, right? That's why you're first on my list, right?
Yeah.
So you need a dance partner that you could dance with while you're calling the matches. Now, on occasion, they would play Dark Souls, and this other community manager of his would play with him. And he would throw the action to her, and it's like playing handball against a curtain. He would hit the ball to her, and it would just, and she'd go, I don't know.
Oh, just like 1 word, 2 words.
Yeah, and she would go, yeah, how about that? How about that, blank? And she would just say, yeah, it was rough.
Like in The Fifth Element.
Yeah, and we okay, all right. And she would never verbally dance with him, right? And I was going, like, let me be. I wanted that spot. I wanted to broadcast with him because he was amazing at the hype and the verbal handoff, and I could make. Yeah. I could be funny on an
do so much more with it.
In an instant. I could sit him right next to me, and I goddamn guarantee I could be funnier and faster and crack wise as the moment he threw anything to me. And I would be sitting in the audience going, let me in that spot. And so much of that time where I would say, I messaged him a couple times in chat, all above board, hey man, I got a shoutcasting gig. Like I was talking about my Factorio stuff. I made a shoutcasting thing. I'm a shoutcaster, Warwitch. Let me know when you need a partner for shoutcasting. Like I think
he even praised you for your shoutcasting too at one point.
Yes, and I'm going, anytime, anywhere, put me next to you, and we will make gold. We will spin gold. I will do it. I will crush it. I will be there anytime, anywhere, any subject, any game. Let's do it. And I wanted that spot. And then I would get in, and I would see this community manager, and it was, goddamn, it was like playing, I can't think of a better analogy, playing handball against a curtain. Because you play a handball play racquetball against a brick wall, and it's going to come back at you. You hit it, you come back. You hit it, you play tennis. You hit it, and they send it right back. You hit it against a curtain, it boop, and it just drops. And there's nothing. There's silence. And for a hype streamer, that is death. Like that's, you don't want, that was hateful. That was hateful for him to have, right? And I was wondering, there was something weird about that. I didn't know what that was, but there was something And I always
It
chalked it up.
felt off, didn't it?
I always chalked it up to there's off-air stuff that she does, so therefore she gets privileges on air to do some stuff, right? I don't know, man.
I think my best guess was daughter of ex-wife was one of my theories, but I don't even convinced of that.
Oh, maybe, right. That's actually even then, man.
At the same time, he says friend of the channel. He says doesn't live she didn't even live in the house, but she basically lived there because she'd sleep over overnight.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Through the night,
might have been something with the wife or help the wife or something.
Yeah.
I have no idea, man. No idea.
But it's just a very bizarre situation to have.
It was bizarre.
Physically hanging around.
But here's the thing: is as an exceptional streamer and being an exception in that business, the life has to be a weird one, and you're doing some extreme stuff, right?
Exceptional.
You're doing exceptional stuff
as well,
right? And which means you have some off-air things you got to do. Which means you're so committed to gift subscribers and bringing people in that you're going to go think of a way around it and go get Subway sandwich cards. Before gift subs happen, I bet you he was doing gift subs for about a year and a half, because ever since I known it, he was giving out the Ocho. Remember, it was the 8 subs and the Ocho happened and there was a celebration. He was so committed to that he would go down and just have freaking stack. Like you think this is crazy right here with this stack of Steam gift cards that I have. Right, he would have a stack of Subway gift cards. That's just stacks that he would give out, and he would give out stacks of it every night to build the momentum and build that stuff up. Right. Anyway,
build the hype.
So, someone who's committed enough to the brand and the lifestyle and doing that to do Subway gift cards, I kind of chalked it up to, well, there's a method to the madness. Everything else works. I don't know what. There's got to be a whatever the profit and loss sheet on this has to work too for some reason. But I don't know what it is. But I don't get it. Right. This is very weird. And God damn it, I'm still pissed off that whole thing. So
didn't she move across country, like from one side of the country to the other?
Moved to either in with them or moved to the thing, right? And by the way, none of this is speaking out of turn or doxing or anything. We don't know. Okay, just plausible not be. We don't know other than what was put out there in the public persona. It was that there was a.
Yeah, this is purely our observation.
This is observation based on data that was given to us through the program and through Twitter. And there was he does have there's a person that lived with him, and he called it her wife, and that was Natalia. She had her own stream. She also had an OnlyFans type of thing where she branched out in the last 6 months to do her thing, where she's exchanging that's what OnlyFans is, right? It's the dirty pictures for money, right?
It's an adult industry entertainment
adult
service,
industry entertainment service, subscription service, right? It's that. That's what OnlyFans is really for, right? So that was the thing. He had the main channel, which was the Hype Machine, which all of that brought in, and then the third person in their sphere was that community manager. But the community manager was a weird fit. It did not fit with the rest of the brand, and I don't understand what that was. So
maybe we'll get closure on that one day.
Anyway, so when I Detective Mojo, you got to get on Doc's case.
That case is already closed. He's not an actual doctor.
Right, he's not an actual doctor, so they banned him. Man. I mean, you can't be. Look, okay, you can't be Admiral if you're not a real Admiral. Okay, if your name is not Admiral. Exactly. I mean, you're out, right? So that was one that didn't fit. And I don't have any other investigative type of thing. But so Mojo goes about a year and a half, 2 years of going. There's going to be something coming out. Colonel Will, he better present some stuff. He better present some paperwork.
Oh yeah, he better.
Like from the Army or from the Marines. Like I want to see some freaking paperwork, right? So Mojo goes a year and a half and goes, hey, there's something up with this guy. There's something up with this guy. It's wrong. It's this, but we can never put our finger on it. but basically you called it back. You figured out the system, which was hype and support in exchange for some younger streamers' naughtiness and all of that sort of stuff. Which, by the way, if that's what you want to do as a consenting adult, probably legal, right? I mean, there's an unstated...
Probably legal.
There's a similar dynamic between OnlyFans and OnlyFans subscribers, right? There's no secret as to why we're here. I'm looking at these naughty images, and I'm giving you $5 a month or $10. I'm a supporter, right? That's a consenting relationship, not a big deal, right? The weird thing is when the power dynamic is off, right? And the age disparity gets crazy, and the younger and when they start dipping below that Manson-Nixon line of 18, like it's off. Like it's done. You can't do that. So I don't know, man.
Or even just when you get beyond that sort of what is it normally? It's not like a 10-year age gap. Once you start stretching beyond that, things start to get morally questionable.
I mean, yeah, Badger and I were talking about that too. Even if it's legal, if you're a 40-year-old, what the hell are you talking to a 20-year-old about? How was class? You know what? What are you talking to a 20-year-old? How'd you like that TikTok? I don't know. What are you talking about? What are you talking to a 20-year-old about? I mean, they got nothing to talk about. Different life phase, different all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, your brain's on different dimensions by the time you're 40. Even by the time you're 30, you're thinking different to a 20-year-old.
You're thinking totally different, right? My brain at 18 is completely different. Completely different than it was. I mean, from
most brains at 18 are thinking about the next time. They're looking out for the next time to get drunk or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
the simple things, and then by the time.
Right. Yeah, and 18 to 25. I'm probably a completely different person between 18 to 25, and then probably a completely different person at various ages above that. Yeah, legal, but morally bankrupt when the power dynamic is between a popular streamer and an up and coming. It's a little weird, right?
Yeah.
It is consenting adults, but it's a little weird morally, and there's a power dynamic, which is kind of that's the sexual harassment where the gray area starts coming in. I mean, think about that in a not just in a streamer where we're all kind of independent. Streamers are all kind of independent contractors, so there's no one really above anybody, right? No one. It's not a direct boss employee relationship. Like that's. There's in a company there's that, right? But in a place like this where we're as an employee we're all on level playing field, the dynamic is hype and influence and all of that, which really grays up the area for sexual harassment, right? If they're both adults, but then one has power. Whatever
power and authority over
not necessarily authority, but influence and all of that sort of thing.
Influence is a better term.
Yeah, because technically, my rank is the same as XQC's rank in terms of Twitch. Like we are independent contractors. He couldn't tell me he can't set my hours, right? He can't tell me to come into work late.
Yeah,
or come to work early or later, and all that sort of thing, like a boss can. But the power dynamic is there where if he hosts me for some sort of support, there may be a way where I feel like I owe him something. So heck yeah, I'll do some push-ups. What else you want me to, so all of that sort of thing, right? Right. Net worth doesn't come into play even if your rank is the same. Right. That question's a good one, Vince. All of the where you are in status happens. Like there's same thing with actors and famous producers and new actresses, like the gross Harvey Weinstein type of thing where there's a power dynamic there. Like I'm not telling you that you're not gonna get this part unless you, but hey, why don't you swing by, right? Yeah, and there's some power influences there that's pretty improper, right? interested in him if he's not a bigger streamer is like, well, yeah, but interest is all kind of crazy anyway. So, and what makes that interest? I was thinking about that today. On, you notice the dating simulators that are out there. All of them are almost all of them are deposit gifts and money, receive love and affection and sex. Right? The dating sim is you say the right thing, deposit kindness, get her a gift, take her out to dinner, whatever the thing is, and the dating sim is, oh yeah, you've ranked up to level 2, right? That
ranked up to second
base or something, right? But now I was thinking about this. That is not how it works really in real life. It's not deposit kindness, receive sex. It's not that. Yeah. A lot of on Twitter, you go out there and you'll see dudes making so much mistakes, or deposit a subscription, receive X and Y, and dudes thinking they can just look, it worked on it worked on Honey Pop. It's not going to work in real life. What do you mean? I solved the puzzle. I got the right gifts. I said the right lines. I did the right trivia. I connected the dots. Why is she so upset?
Arguably, thinking about it, TV shows, a lot of sitcoms do that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's very much a learned. You're trained from everything around you to think that way.
Right. All right. I'm gonna let's end on this funny story here. So there you go. So Mojo called the improprietor a zillion years ago, and didn't do anything. Right. All right. So let me tell you about my mask strategy. It's so much. So I'm gonna give you the context. I'm not a anti-mask
strategy.
Anti-mask dude. I bought one. I just opened one right now. I've got a mask that I intend to wear in public. It's like a permanent one. It's not a disposable one. I've been wearing disposable ones for a while. My behavior is what is reasonable. It is if I'm in my car and I'm not going to get out of my car, I'm not going to put one on. If I'm driving in my car by myself and I need to get out to go into a place or go talk with somebody or something, I'm putting one on. Okay? That's my mask. Dracar's mask or something. I'll link it on Twitter. I'll put a picture up and link it on Twitter. But it's all context based, right? It is if I'm going to be interacting with someone or I'm going to be in a space near people, I'm going to put one on. If I'm in my car and I'm not getting out, no. Also, if I'm jogging at 6:30 a.m. and the sun is coming up and I am the only one outside in my entire neighborhood, I ain't put one on, right? If it's me and the dog and I'm running, I'm not going to put something on my face because we're outside. It's sunrise. There's nobody out here. There's nobody around. There's nobody around. I'm not going to put one on if I'm jogging. Now, if I'm going to go to, if I go to a park and I'm going to go exercise at a park at 2 p.m., with a crowded park, I'm never going to do that. But if I were to go there and I would go jog in a park, I'd probably take my athletic one, right? My athletic one right here, right? Because there's chance that I'll be in contact with people. Okay. So, Mojo, you may not know this about me. I'm pretty reasonable. Not excitable much at all. Not excitable at all. But just like soldiers will sleep with their rifle with a bullet in the chamber just in case they have to go. I have a fuck off chambered at any given time. I will,
as the proud Texan would do.
I will immediately tell somebody fuck off. They will instantly receive that if the situation warrants it. Okay. Rewind to I tweeted this out, and let me actually go out there. Tweet this out. Let me go back to my my Twitters. This is funny. And let's put this up here. Blade Runner did the thing. Welcome to the Rock. June 26th. Steam Sale. Sleep with the Sunset. Okay. Oh, it's back up here. Hang on. I'm going to find it. Give me just a second. There it is. Okay, there it is. So here it is. Hey, Badger, not Badger. So here is the tweet that I put up there. I managed to get up with the sun. What's up, Z1? Managed to get up and jog my 5 km with the sunrise. Other than a mask conflict encounter with some older lady, it was pretty great. 10 of 10 can recommend watching the sunrise every now and again. It's good for the soul. So I got a couple likes on that, whatever. I did have a mask conflict encounter with an old lady. So I don't run with my specs on. I have my glasses. They're for farsighted. Nearsighted, I'm fine. I never do it on the screen. I can get far away. I can still see everything. When I'm running, also, I don't want something slipping on my face or anything like that. I can still see pretty well, but I don't. My face will get sweaty. It'll come down my hair and all this other stuff. So I'm running. There's a straightaway that there's a curve, and it's the longest straightaway in my neighborhood because it goes down this green belt, and I'm always freaked out because it's basically houses and then forest right next to it, and there's a sidewalks there, and every time I run down there, I hear just fauna scattering, and I think one day it's going to be a wolf or some sort of raccoon, and it's going to bite my face off or something, right? So
it's the closest thing to wilderness.
It's the closest thing to wilderness around me. So, so I'm on the straightaway, so I can see a long way down, and I see at least, Mojo, it is probably PAX Australia, half the length of the convention center at PAX Australia. You went to one, right? Did you go to one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
long way away.
It's I remember those convention things.
Yeah, you remember when we could get together and do stuff, right? There's probably 70. It's probably 70 meters away. It's a long ass way. Like I've got I see a pink blur that is not green and not earth toned. So I'm jogging ahead of me, and I'm looking, and it comes into shape, and it's a form. I say, okay, it's a lady. So then I'm jogging around. I got my dog with me. So then she's on the path with me, and because I have my dog. And my dog is the friendliest thing. He will lick you to death before he'll bite you. I don't want her to get scared. So I way ahead, 100 feet, 30 meters ahead. I go to the other side of the street. On the house, there's a street, greenbelt houses over here, right? So I cross the street over to the house sidewalk, and I'm passing her. And she's got a mask on, and she's walking. This is the only person I see. Sun is still coming. Only person I see in the neighborhood at all. I've seen 2 cars. It's, again, 6:30, and by the way, it's reduced work. It's not. We're in pandemic central. It's not. Yeah, it's not a bustling metropolis anymore, right? So
it's dead quiet like.
It's dead quiet like, and no one around, just her. And I get way away. I get on the other side. We never come within. The closest we ever come is a street length apart. Okay. And as we're passing, I can see her face, and she's now looking at me. And she says, and she yells out, "You need to wear a mask." And to that, I said, "Fuck off!" and kept running. Because I was not about
in the chamber.
I had one. It was in the chamber, and it was ready. I was not about to stop and explain to her the context of the fact that it was 6:30 a.m. There was 2 people out in the entire goddamn neighborhood pre-sunrise, And by the way, I just inconvenienced myself to walk way the hell around, to run way the hell around you, and I'm exercising. Like, it's context. I'm not going to have a lawyer argument with you. This woman, I don't know. I don't even know who she was, but I'm sure she knows who I was. She had her glasses on. I didn't. And so and you know what? I got back to my house, and I feel completely fine about it. I have no guilt, no remorse. I just went straight on by, and I completely dismissed. I don't know what to tell you, man. It doesn't happen very often. But if just so you guys know, I do have one chambered at all times. I rarely deploy it. In this context, I was really hurting on the run, and I was not about to argue. And I did not want to have.
Was already on the trigger.
I did not want to have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
And it's not law. Like, there's no imminent danger. I was the one who inconvenienced myself all the way around her, and did the thing. And I just said,
done everything.
I'd done everything that I needed to do, and there you go. So, but just so you know,
it's funny how you compare it to here, where some people wear masks, some people don't. Like, when I'm going into the city, I probably should have been, and I kept leaving the mask at home. And it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah,
we all just keep distance, and it's fine.
Yeah, nobody yelled at you? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, here's the thing: my dog is a giant wuss, and he's small. It's not like I'm running a pit bull or anything like that. He's this little terrier nuisance cross. So he's
like a ball of meat with legs.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart, and
ball of muscle with legs. I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know what her deal was, but she, I don't understand. I guess she was concerned. I mean, granted, she was older, right? So I'm pretty sure she had silvery white hair, so she was in that demographic of high risk, which I get it. Why you're up, but context, man. If she and I were to have a conversation, I would then feel obligated to either stand on the other side of the street or throw my mask on and then approach, and then we could talk, right? But as it was, she was never in any nearby. I mean, the only context was she had to yell. The farthest she had to yell across the street at me to get to. That's how close we were. But she did never even enter into any of my space. But just so you all know, I do have one chambered just in case, and it may come out at any given time. I don't know what to tell you, man. It happens. All right.
Sometimes Sometimes you gotta exercise,
yeah. Sometimes I do. I don't know. I kept on running. I was just fine, man. All right. It is not a challenge. Michelle, Whiskey, Darth, Jaso. Don't poke the bear, man. My verbal acuity is pretty high, and if I were to turn the full force of that on someone, they would probably want to commit suicide. So I keep that chambered, right? So make someone feel bad about themselves. So no, we're all good here, man. It's positive vibes. All right, what do you got going on this week, Mojo?
Stuff and things. I actually got to try and remember what I was meant to be doing this week.
It's almost like you just woke up.
Apart from the Factorio.
It's almost like
it is, isn't it? Even though it's now 10:15, I think the sun's almost trying to come out now.
Still pretty dark, though. I'll tell you that my wife was very impressed at your improv. To people asking you why on your stream that you're upside down, and I was lurking. It keeps
getting more and more sophisticated every time.
Oh yeah. If you're in South America and you still see me as upside down, it's probably your VPN. Yes. That was great. So I was here doing work. I was lurking, and you just kept rolling with it, and I was dying. I was dying laughing. It was great, and so those were great. And
South America, VPN into Europe. You're going to see the back of my head.
You're going to see the back of your head.
You've got to take account of these things.
Yeah, it's just plain science. It's just good science. So she wandered in about that time, and she's going, "Who's this?" And I said, "Oh, it's Mojo." And then right about then, you started riffing on why, and she goes, "Why is he upside down?" And then right about that same time, someone else asked you in chat why you were upside down, and then here you go, and you had this great explanation of Oh, yeah. Well, you're in the wrong hemisphere. So the gravitational pull and light refraction and all that. Next thing you know, you see me upside down.
The reflection off the ionosphere.
Reflection off the ionosphere. All right. Right. So there was that. So go. Let's put Mojo's stuff in chat. So go shoot him a follow. He's awesome for getting up and hosting this with me. It's good stuff. So for me, I am off tomorrow and Wednesday. I'll be off air, but I'm doing work. I'm doing YouTube work tomorrow. And then Tuesday is my Trauma Tuesday, Twitch integration base. Wednesday, I'm off with the fam. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all Factorio. I may try and dip into I think Ash and the fam is going out of town either Thursday or Friday. If he's still in town, we'll do Terraria because I woke up this morning thinking about Terraria and how to get to the next boss. We beat the Destroyer last night, and we're progressing through our Terraria base, so we're having a great time. And I want
need to make a start on Terraria.
Oh man,
it's
great.
I have no idea what I'm doing there.
Oh, it's great. It's so much good fun. Play with a friend. Get you a partner that's on Australia time and play with a buddy.
I think that's the way to go.
Who knows a little bit about, not too much.
For me, during the week,
Fenced In is really, really good. So don't play with Fenced In because he'll just dominate you and he'll be waiting on you to figure it all out. Right.
It'll be playing with Badger, where he's already done the wall of flesh 5 minutes into the game, and I'm still trying to open the inventory.
Right.
And he's just yelling at me, "What are you
doing?
Why
right?
are you taking so long?"
Yeah, Fenced In. I did get a chance to play with.
That's it.
Fenced In and I played twice together, I think, and it's like fighting. Discord, Fence. It's like fighting someone. Once you fight somebody, like martial arts, you will feel how good they are. And you play with Fenced In, you feel how good he is. He's really, really good. He knows what the hell he's doing in Terraria. So I got a similar schedule, but I have 2 days off this week, Monday and Friday. But I will be off air doing some YouTube work. I'm going to be recording, getting prepped for Factorio 1.0. I'm going to do some off air recording and get some YouTube videos out there. I've got a couple other ideas in the hopper. Oh, Doc Holiday, you like my feck off story? That's really good. Thank you, man. You have the game, never played it. If you have Terraria, pick it up right now on Steam sale, $4.99 US. Throw it down. It is one of the greatest games that has ever been made by one of the greatest developer teams ever assembled, Relogic. Terraria is $4.99 Steam sale. Grab it. If not, Penguin, if you don't have it, message me and I'll figure out a way to get it if you can't afford it. So there you go. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Totally worth it, says Ox, who's run a pretty darn good career with Terraria in his own right. All right, let's find somebody to host here in just a second. Let me get everything ready. Let's go say hi to. Let's go say hi to Tina. This is the person we met at TwitchCon. She's awesome. She don't play. Yeah. She's got her stuff. She has her stuff going. So Mojo, you'll join me in that host with your channel too?
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay.
Will do. I was just going to say, my thing during the week, I have a spreadsheet of games I want to work through, and I still got to pick one of the games for this week. I've slowly been ticking them off. Man, streamers, that is a problem. I never had that problem until I started streaming. Is so many games and not enough. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. You get so many games, not enough time. Not enough time to do them all. So, all right, let's do the normal sign off. Stay motivated. You can, if you're motivated, you can do anything. Stay awesome because you know you're already awesome. That's Badger's sign off. And then Mojo's going to salute with me. Remember?
Stretch.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Thank you, guys.
It's the old one, isn't it?
Yeah, wash your hands is a new one. Wash your hands.